Hello students, I am Sanjana Kapatigi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, AITM Belagavi. Let us continue with the video lectures on computer organization. We are studying module number 1, that is basic structure of the computer. In this video lecture, let us see some of the additional instructions which we have not studied before. Okay. So far we have seen some of the instructions like move, load, store, clear, add, subtract, increment, decrement, branch, test bit, compare, call, and return. These are some like 13 instructions along with the addressing modes we have studied till now. These have allowed us to write routines or programs to illustrate machine instruction sequencing, which includes branching as well as the subroutine structure. We also illustrated the means we have also studied the basic memory mapped IO operations. So even this small set of instructions has a number of redundancies. What type of redundancy we will see, like the load and store instructions can be replaced by move, and the uh, increment and the decrement instructions can be replaced with add and subtract. Like I can write move instruction instead of writing load or store instruction. I can use add and subtract instruction instead of increment or decrement respectively. So also this clear instruction can be replaced by a move instruction containing an immediate operand of 0. Immediate operand is nothing but writing it in terms of numbers. So therefore only 8 instructions would have been sufficient for all these purposes. But it is not unusual to have some redundancy in practical machine instruction sets. Certain simple operations can usually be accomplished in a number of different ways. You can do it in many different ways. It is not that you need to have very minimal set of instruction, only with that you have to do all the operations. It is not so. You can use any alternative way to do it. So it is fine to have more number of instruction types. Some alternatives may be more efficient than the others. So in that case you can go for any alternate ways. So in this section we shall see some more instructions that are important, which are found in most of the instruction sets of the computers. Let us study one by one. We shall see logic instructions. Logic operations such as AND, OR, and NOT are applied to individual bits. You already know what is AND, OR, and NOT operation. These are logical operations, which are the basic building blocks of any digital circuit. Okay, so it is also useful to be able to perform logic operations in software, which is done using instructions that apply these operations to all bits of a word or byte independently and in parallel. Okay, so we know that and, or, and not are the main building blocks of digital circuits. These operations are the main building blocks of digital circuits, which has and gate, or gate, and not gate. So the same operation can be done in the software. So how it can be done? Using the instructions that perform these things, that will be applied on the bits of all the bits of a word or byte in parallel, means altogether it will be applied. For example, not DST. So the instruction not DST, that is destination, it complements all the bits contained in the destination operand. Complement means what? Changing zeros to ones and ones to zeros. You also know that how do you find the like ones complement is nothing but complementing each bit. Okay. Then how do you find two's complement? Two's complement is nothing but first finding the ones complement and then you are going to add one to it. So the result will be two's complement of that particular number. Okay. This two's complement can be implemented in this way. Check these instructions. First is not are not. Not are not, what it will do, it will complement each bit of the contents of r naught. Okay, and then add hash 1 comma r naught. That means what? This number 1 will be added to the value present in the r naught. So altogether it is nothing but finding the 2's complement. Okay, so this achieve the conversion. Also many computers have a single instruction, that is negate r naught. This negate r naught, this also does the same thing that is done by these two instructions. Okay, now consider an application for the logic instruction and, which performs the bitwise AND operation on the source and destination operands. Okay, so the AND operation will be performed between source and the destination. Okay, suppose that four ASCII characters are contained in the 32-bit register R0. Four ASCII characters. One ASCII character is of how many bits? 8 bits. Okay, so four characters means 8 into 4, the 32-bit register R0. So in some task we wish to determine if the leftmost character is Z. Okay, we would like to identify if the leftmost character is Z. If it is so, a conditional branch to S is to be made. Okay, so that we find the ASCII code for Z to be 010111010, which is expressed in hexadecimal notation as 5A. So you all know binary, decimal, hexadecimal and octal, these representations. So in binary it is ASCII code for Z in binary 010111010, whereas when it is converted to hexadecimal it is represented as 5A. Okay, so the three instruction sequence to do this can be written as and hash dollar ff 000000 comma r naught, compare 5a 000000 comma r naught, and branch equal to 0 s. Okay, so this implements the desired action and the instruction clears all the bits in the rightmost three character positions of r0 to 0 to 0, leaving the leftmost character unchanged. So this is the result of the using an immediate source operand that has 8 ones at its left and zeros in the 24 bits to the right. So the compare instruction compares the remaining characters at the left end of the R0 with the binary representation for the character Z. So we'll be comparing the leftmost characters with the binary characters of Z. So the branch instruction causes a branch to F if there is a match. If it is matching, then it causes a branch to F. Okay, else no. The AND instruction is often used in practical programming tasks where all the bits of an operand except for some specified field are to be cleared to 0. Okay, so in this example the leftmost 8 bits of R0 constitute the specified field. So we were just concentrating on the leftmost 8 bits of R0, that is whether we were checking whether that leftmost character contains Z letter. Okay, so what we were doing, we were converting that Z to in ASCII code in binary. Okay, so that is represented in hexadecimal. So I just compared that number with the pattern what we have written. If it is matching, the pattern what we have written is nothing but writing Z into a ASCII form in terms of binary. So that will be compared with that. If it is matching, then it should cause a branch to location S. Okay. Next we shall see shift and rotate instructions. There are many applications that require the bits of an operand to be shifted right or left some specified number of bit positions. So the details of how the shifts are performed depend on whether the operand is a signed number or some more general binary coded information. For general operands, we use a logical shift. For a number, we use arithmetic shift, which preserves the sign of the number. If it is a general operand, just logical shift is enough. If it is a number, we have to use the arithmetic shift, which preserves the sign of the number. Okay, so first we shall see logical shifts. We shall see logical shifts. Two logical shift instructions are required, one for shifting left, the another one for shifting right. Left shift is called as L shift L, that is logical left shift. L shift R is logical shift right. Okay. L shift L is logical shift left. L shift R is logical shift R. These instructions shift an operand over a number of bit positions specified in a count operand obtained in the instruction. So the general form of a logical left shift instruction is L shift L, which represents logical shift left. And then we have count comma destination. Count is the number of bits by which we should shift the operand. Destination will be nothing but the operand. We count operand. The count operand may be given as an immediate operand, or it may be contained in a processor register. It may be an immediate operand which is represented with hash value, or else it may be contained in the processor register. To complete the description of the left shift operation, we need to specify the bit values brought into the vacated positions at the right end of the destination operand, and to determine what happens to the bits shifted out of the left end. So the vacancy positions are filled with zeros. So when I shift the bits, the last positions will be left out, so those will be filled with zeros, and the bits shifted out are passed through a carry flag C, and then they will be dropped. Involving the carry flag in shift is useful in performing arithmetic operations on large number that occupy more than one word. So let us see in this figure an example of shift contents of register R not left by 2-bit positions is given. So the logical shift right instructions L shift R works in the same manner, except that it shifts to the right. Only difference is shift left will shift the bits towards left, L shift R will shift the bits towards right. Both will perform the same operation. Okay, let us understand with this figure. Okay, as it is told, there is a carry flag. C indicates the carry flag. So the bits that are shifted will be stored in this, and then they will be discarded. R0 is nothing but the bits contained in this. Okay, so before the carry bit was containing 0, and these were the contents of the R0. It started with 0 1 1 1 0. The last three bits are 0 1 1. So the instruction is what? Left shift L hash 2 comma R0. That means what? I have to shift the contents of R0 by 2 bits. Okay, just observe, left shift means leftmost bits I have to shift. How many bits? 2 bits, because it is already mentioned in the instruction. So I am going to shift. So I have to shift the leftmost bits of contents of R0, that is 0 1. First 0 will be shifted. Okay, and then 2 bits I have to shift, so 0 and 1 have to be shifted. So this carry flag can contain only one bit, you can discard the 0, so this 1 will come here, remaining will be 1 1 0. The last bits will be 0 1 1. Okay, here there will be two empty positions that will be creating after shifting 2 bits, so I will be filling those 2 bits with the 0 0. Okay, that is why it becomes 1 1 0 dash 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 0 1 1, same as this, and last append 2 zeros. This is logical shift left. Okay, same thing coming to logical shift right. The instruction will be L shift R hash 2 comma R0. Okay, you can see the carry bit flag is on the right side, same contents will be there. Okay, 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 up till last three bits are 0 1 1. Now we are shifting towards right, so 1 1 have to be shifted. So since carry can contain only one bit, 1 1, this 1 will be out, this 1 will come here, and 0 will be remained here, dash dash dash. Last bits are these 5 bits, 0 triple 1 0. Two places are empty, you can fill them with 0 0. So this is about logical shift left and logical shift right. Next we shall see arithmetic shifts. Shifting a number one bit position to the left is equivalent to multiplying that particular number by 2. So left shift by one bit is equal to multiplying that number by value 2. Okay, and shifting it to the right by one bit is equivalent to dividing that number by 2. Left shift is multiplying by 2, right shift is dividing it by 2. Of course, the overflow will occur in shifting left, and the remainder is lost in shifting right, because as we go on shifting the value towards left, the value will be multiplied. That means we'll be getting the bigger number. So once we are shifting it towards right, the remainder always we have to neglect it. Okay, so uh, uh, that will be lost in shifting right. So another important observation is that on a right shift, the sign bit must be repeated as the fill in bit for the vacated position. In case of logical shift, what we used to do, so the last empty positions were filled by zeros, whether it may be left shift or right shift. But in case of arithmetic shift, what we have to do, those empty places have to be replaced with the sign bit of that particular number. Okay, so this requirement on right shifting distinguishes the arithmetic shift from logical shift, which in which the fill-in bit is always 0. In left shift it is going to be always 0, but in case of in logical shift it is going to be always 0, but in case of arithmetic shift it depends on the sign bit of that particular number. Otherwise both are going to be almost similar. Okay, so an example of arithmetic right shift is given in the figure. So the instruction will be written as a shift r. Okay, arithmetic shift right. Okay, hash 2 comma r naught, that means shift right, arithmetic shift right by 2 bits. You can see since it is right shift, we have the carry bit on the right side, and r naught is here. You can see this arrow mark. So what is coming back to this is whatever the sign bit is there, that is going to be repeated. Okay, so what is the contents of r naught? It is 10011, last three dash 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 010, last three bits are 010. So 0 carry bit will be initially 0. So what I have to do, I have to shift by 2 bits towards right. Okay, so what is the sign bit here? Sign bit is the leftmost bit. Okay, that will be the sign bit always. Okay, it is 1 in this case, so the empty positions have to be filled by 1 only. Okay, now let us shift this. So this 1 0 will be out of the carry, 1 will come to carry, and then dash dash dash, write these numbers 11001. Since the sign bit is 1, append 2 ones here in the empty positions. This is the difference between logical shift and arithmetic shift. Next we shall see rotate operations. Uh, in, in the shift operations, the bits shifted out of the operand were lost except for the last bit shifted out, which is retained in the carry bit. So one bit will be stored in carry bit, all others were lost. So in order to preserve all these bits, a set of rotate instructions can be used. If I do not want to lose those bits and I want to preserve them, I can use rotate instruction. So they move the bits that are shifted out of one end of the operand back into the another end. So it is also same like shift, but the bits will not be lost, they will be returned back to the same operand through the another end. Okay, so two versions of both left and right rotate instructions are provided in all the instruction set. So in one version, the bits of the operand are simply rotated. In the other version, the rotation includes C flag. Okay, in one case it will be just shifted, in the other case it will be including a C flag. So we shall see it in the figure that shows left and right rotate operations with and without C flag being included in the rotation. So let us also note that when the C flag is not included in the rotation, it still contains the last bit shifted out of the end of the register. So in mnemonics, rotate L, rotate LC, rotate R, and rotate RC denote the instructions that perform rotate operations. The main use of rotate instruction is in algorithms for performing the arithmetic operations or other than addition and subtraction. So these logical statements will be used in algorithms to perform the operations other than arithmetic operations. So let us see these rotate operations with examples. The figure A represents rotate L, that is rotate left without carry by 2 bits, that is the instruction is rotate L hash 2 comma R0. You can see in the figure this the carry flag is connected to R0, and the bit whatever is there, this will be whatever is shifted towards left will be returned back to the right, since it is a left shift. Okay, uh, take the same value. Okay, initially C will be containing 0. The contents of R0 are 0 111 dash 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 0 11. So when I'm shifting 2 bits, what will happen? This 0 will be discarded. This 0 will go out of the should go out of the box, but it is going to be returned here. So this 0 will be out, 1 will be out. So next what happens? This 1 will come to the carry flag, and the remaining is 110 dash 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 011. So what bits we have shifted? We have shifted 0 first, so write 0 here. Okay, it is rotated and coming back to its this position. 0 is shifted first, write 0 here. Next is 1, we have shifted or we have rotated, so 1 also comes here. So these two, whatever we are rotating, those will be appended at the end. Okay, so this is rotate left without carry. Next we shall see rotate left with carry. See, it is also same. What happens is the carry bit will be rotated back to the other end of the contents of R0 here. Okay, initially carry will be containing 0. What are the contents of R0? It is 0 111 dash 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 011. Okay, so I'm rotating by 2 bits. So this 0 will be out, this 1 will come into carry bit. Okay, remaining is 110 dash dash dash. So this carry will be returned to the other end. So carry initially it was containing 0, so 0, and again next also will be 0, because whatever the value is stored in the carry, that has to be returned to the other end of the contents of R0. So why it is 0 0? Whatever the value is present in carry, that becomes the sign bit. Okay, so 2 zeros it is. So this is about rotate left with carry. Next we shall see rotate right without carry. Just see the arrow marks here. So the whatever bits are going out of R0 will be returned back to the other end of the R0. Let us take the same example. So initially C will be containing 0, and we have the contents of R0 as 0 111 dash 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 011. So if I shift right by 2 bits, what will happen? So this initial 1 will be out of the box, and then we are going to have 1 coming into the carry. Okay, so the remaining is what? It is 0 dash 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 0 111 0. So what is out of carry? That is 1 1 and 1. The two bits will have 1 and 1. Okay, next is rotate right with carry. Okay, let us take the same value. You can see here the arrow mark, the contents of carry bit will be entered into the other end of the R0. So before it is 0 111 dash 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 011, carry will be 0. So when I shift right by 2 bits, this 1 will come here, 0 will be here, dash 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 0 111, and then we have 0, and then this 1 will be returned to the leftmost bit. So this is about rotate right by 2 bits. The next instructions we have is multiplication and division. So two signed numbers can be multiplied or divided by machine instructions with the same format as we have seen in the addition instruction. So the instruction can be multiply ri comma rj. What this will do is the contents of ri will be multiplied with the contents of rj, and the result will be stored into rj. So rj will be the destination. The product of two n numbers can be as large as 2n bits. Therefore, the answer will not necessarily fit into RJ. So when we multiply two n bit numbers, the result will be obviously as large as 2n bits. Okay, so it is not necessary to fit the result into RJ. A number of instruction sets have multiply instructions that computes the low order n bits of the product and then places it in the register RJ as it is indicated. So this is sufficient if it is known that all the products in some particular application task will fit into n bits. So to accommodate the general 2n bit product case, some processors produce the product in two registers, usually with the adjacent register RJ and RJ plus 1. Okay, so with the high order half being placed in the register, that is R of j plus 1. Next we shall see the division instruction. So the instruction can be written as divide Ri comma Rj, which performs uh, contents of Rj divided by Ri, and the result will be stored into Rj. So which places the quotient in Rj, and the remainder may be placed in R of j plus 1, or it may be lost also. Computers that do not have multiply and divide instructions these can perform this and another arithmetic set of operations by using the sequence of more basic instructions such as add, subtract, shift, and rotate. This will become more apparent when we study the implementation of arithmetic operations in the further chapters. We shall continue this module in the next video. Keep watching. Thank you.